another episode of Lovin Daily. I'm your host Ben, and today I'm joined by my co-host Sam. First of all, we'd like to apologize for airing today's episode a bit later than usual, but we came across some technical difficulties we had little to no control over. Having said that, here are the 5 titles for today. Roberta Bella hopes gender quota bill will one day be used for men MPs. Medical union threatens industrial action over removal of Kenneth Craig. Second round of COVID-19 vouchers will be rolled out when beneficial, Economy Minister says. Woman refusal to wear face masks forces Air Malta flights to turn back. And Justice Minister still hasn't provided proof that he didn't stay at Fenix French Hotel for free. And with that, Sam, would you like to kick us off with the first story of the day?
For sure. So, our Prime Minister, Roberta Bella, hopes that the gender quota bill will one day be used for men. So, yesterday in Parliament, there was a bill presented to introduce a gender correcting mechanism to Parliament. Essentially, if accepted, what this will do is that in a scenario after a general election, if 40%, less than 40% of the House of Representatives are women, this bill will kick in and up to 12 seats will be added, and they will all be taken by women who failed to get elected the first time round. Now, both parties have actually accepted this bill despite a bit of a public outcry, some controversy. But I mean, the reality is that 13% of MPs are women. It's in fact deplorable and laughable. We have the most female cabinet in our history, and less than 5 of our ministers are women in this 26-person cabinet. After an analysis actually done by Lovin Malta, personally I believe that it's a necessary evil. It's proven to work in different countries. If you see like Rwanda, it's also got a sunset clause, so it means it's not, forever. It would expire in 20 years. And but I do believe that it should be accompanied by, more financial support for women, making MPs full-time, raising their salaries. Being an MP is way more than just merits, and you can see that through our current MPs. What do you think?
I mean, it's a very polarizing debate, and we've had a number of people come out against the mechanism as well. We've had people like Adrian Delia, the former leader of the Nationalist Party. The KNZ also said that most young people seem to be against the mechanism as well. It's also important to note that with this gender quota bill in place, a woman can get elected with less than 20 first-time votes. So it's quite a tricky situation, and I guess we can only see if it works once it is implemented. And with that, we move on to the second story of the day. Medical union threatens industrial action over removal of Kenneth Craig. So the Medical Association of Malta is once again threatening industrial action. Dr. Kenneth Craig was allegedly dismissed over a leak involving his advice on schools reopening whilst COVID-19 cases were skyrocketing after Christmas recess. The MAM said, and I quote, "The transfer of a public health consultant for expressing his professional judgment is unacceptable. It is the ethical duty of each doctor to give the best possible medical advice." However, despite the MAM's claims, the Health Ministry has since denied these claims, saying that Kenneth Craig was not fired from his position, but rather redirected to his original post pre-pandemic. In light of this, the MAM has called an urgent meeting with Health Minister Chris Fearn to safeguard doctors' independent medical practice.
Indeed. I mean, this was kind of expected, after the Christmas season. People, despite better judgment, we all broke the rules a little bit. And in fact, now we have the highest amount of active cases ever with 2,322 active cases. We broke our record of single-day rise in cases as well, with 245 recorded last week. Schools have indeed opened now after negotiations with the teachers' union, but bars are still closed. We're vaccinating, but we're vaccinating at a arguably slow pace. So, normality is coming, but we don't know when this is going to be. Businesses are still suffering immensely. And speaking of businesses, that leads us to our next story. So the second round of COVID-19 vouchers will be rolled out when beneficial, says our economy minister, Silvio Schembri. So as you, I'm sure, remember, early in September, we got these COVID-19 vouchers, €100 to spend at businesses affected by the pandemic. And now we have a second round of these vouchers as announced in our budget. The problem is that bars have been closed since for the last 2 months. We don't know when they're going to open again. So, it would be rather useless if we issue these vouchers in January if, bars who probably need it the most at this point can't be of benefit to them. So essentially he said that they're discussing with stakeholders as to when is best to issue these vouchers, and I hope we can speed up this vaccine process and get everything back to as it should be.
Of course. Malta is currently witnessing a ban on its bars and casini. As it stands currently, the ban will go on until 1st February. However, it is not yet known whether this will extend further. Of course, this has left a lot of bar owners and bar workers practically jobless. So I guess it was a good move to decide to delay the rolling out of the COVID-19 vouchers when even bars and casini can sufficiently benefit from this incentive. On to the next story. Woman's refusal to wear face mask forces Air Malta flight to turn back. So yes, a woman refused to wear a face mask on an Air Malta flight from Malta to Catania. The flight left the Malta International Airport around 6 a.m. on Monday morning, and because of her refusal to wear such a mask, the flight was forced to turn back. The woman is a 24-year-old Italian national who resides in Bulgaria, named Freya Angiolova Mutafova. The 24-year-old had entered into an argument with the airplane's flight crew after she refused to wear a mask aboard the flight. In light of this, she was given a 6-month jail term, suspended for 2 years by Magistrate Donatella Frendo de Mek. It might seem like a bit of a harsh sentence, however, it must have been a great inconvenience for other people on the same flight, apart from obviously the obvious health risk that this all poses.
Indeed, I can't imagine the other passengers on this flight. As you know, you need a PCR test in order to fly. The flight was turned around, and they're probably going to have to do this again and probably miss what they needed to do in Catania. So please follow regulations, people. I know it's annoying. We're almost a year into this pandemic, but make it easier for other people around you as well, On to our last story. So Justice Minister Edward Zamit Lewis still hasn't provided proof that he didn't stay at Jürgen Fenech's French hotel for free. So one of Lovin Malta's journalists actually asked Justice Minister Edward Zamit Lewis yesterday to provide this proof that he says that he has, with all the receipts and so on about his stay at Jürgen Fenech's Hilton Hotel in France. But he's failed to produce a single receipt, which is quite odd, Just to jog your memory a bit, Lovin Malta broke the story that Zamit Lewis joined Joseph Muscat for a trip in 2017, which was fully paid for allegedly by prime suspect in the Daphne Caruana Galizia murder, Jürgen Fenech. And even then took a private jet which was funded by the EU to an EU summit in Brussels. Now, he has, vehemently denied this. Joseph Muscat has as well. In a public inquiry, Zamit Lewis basically said that he has all the receipts for everything that he's organized at Fenech's Hotel, but possibly misplace them. I don't know what's going on here.
Yes, I mean, in a situation like this, it feels like the minister's actions, or rather lack thereof, speak for themselves. And with that, we've come to the end of this episode of Lovin Daily. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we hope you have a day full of lovin'.